This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place you tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.
Knicks family, what's poppin'? Is your boy. Good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen. The Knicks play again tonight. They take on the Detroit Pistons. And, there's some questions I still have about the New York Knicks and their offense and whether or not what they're doing is sustainable. We're going to talk about that a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get to that, and we really start getting into this game a little bit, and this is going to be a shorter show because I have some things that I got to get to a little bit later on. So it's going to be a shorter show, and it's the reason why today's show was early. But before we get to that, I want to send out congratulations to our Knicks players, man. Some of our Knicks players who are moving on to different stages of their life. Let's start with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose did what a lot of New York Knicks fans probably dream of doing, ladies and gentlemen. He proposed to his girlfriend, Elena Anderson, on the garden floor. Big shout out to Derrick Rose, man. That's big moves. And he did it on the garden. He did it at MSG. You know, who knows when the date is going to be, but you see they had a nice dinner or whatever it was. Dinner, lunch, brunch, I don't know. And he proposed right there at MSG on the garden floor. So big shout out to Derrick Rose. And not only did Derrick Rose do something major in his life, but of course we know Julius Randle had his second child. And of course, that's always big. So big shout out to Julius Randle for that. And I do want to, we got Julius Randle. Well, we don't have him. But Julius Randle did, an interview and talked about having a baby and all that kind of stuff. So I want to listen into Julius Randle's post-game or not post-game, but post-practice press conference while he's talking about having his second child. And he seems delighted, ladies and gentlemen. This is Julius Randle talking about having a second child. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Congratulations.
Yeah, what? Talk about Mark. Congratulations for what?
Did you have a
I don't know what that means. What do you mean, Mark?
second?
Yeah, I have my son. Thank you. I appreciate it.
So that happened.
Congratulations.
He was born Friday. Yeah.
So, how was the last few days?
Amazing. Amazing just to be able to grow my family, to bring our son into the world, for Kaiden to become a big brother, like all of that. So it's been a really, really positive past couple of days for sure.
His name is...
No, I'm messing with you. His name is Jace. Jayce. Yeah. Jace.
So how's Kyden doing?
He's obsessed. He's obsessed with his big brother. He loves it. Very protective. And just really just loves being a big brother. Wants to do everything with him, help him out, all that type of stuff. So Kyden has a good heart. So he's taking it and doing really well with it for sure.
So you weren't able to watch the game?
No, we all watched it.
Oh,
All
you
of us. Yeah. All of us watched it. Yeah. All 4 of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you think of just being home? And
It was amazing, man. Like, obviously you always wish you could be out there, but just to be able to watch the guys, see how our team is developing from afar and how, every day we're taking steps forward to get better. It's fun. And then, it's also fun, you know, when you're watching from home, you hear the commentary, you can hear Tibbs' voice. So I heard a lot of Tibbs screaming up 20, you know, and that was good to hear from afar too. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
It must have been fun for your older son to get to watch the game with you.
Yeah, he was wondering. At first he didn't like it. He was like, "Dad, why are you here?" Like, he's like, "What are you doing?" So he was upset.
He's here for good.
Yeah, I had to explain it to him, but yeah, he was upset at first, but it was really cool, man. Just, you know, our family to, you know, bring in a new addition, and us four just to be able to sit around the TV watching Knicks basketball on a Saturday night, like it was amazing. So yeah,
Congrats.
thank you.
What's it like in the lead up to, you know you're about to have a son,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a profession where you can't access your phone for like 2 hours. Right? So
Yeah.
what is that like not having access from you? Like,
It's honestly fine, man. Like this whole organization is a family organization. So if my wife couldn't get a hold of me, there was about 10 people here she can get in contact with. So I really wasn't worried about it. As far as you know, being away. Obviously, you know, you want to be there. You know, when she's about to give birth, but I really wasn't worried about it. And you know, we had a pretty good setup, and you know, I'm 2 for 2 so far being there for my son's birth. You know, last time I was cross country, I had to come all the way across the country, so this time was a little bit easier.
You were,
I was in LA last year.
Right.
I mean, for Kaida. We were in Miami.
oh, so.
I had to fly across. I had to fly from Miami to LA to get there.
And
Yeah.
got there.
Yeah.
I'm just watching the game, and you hear Tim's yelling. But I mean, the 3-point shooting was like a big story that night.
Mhm.
Are you thinking like this team is going to be a lot more? I mean, I know the percentages were good, but you didn't take a lot as a team. Do you see that evolving?
Yeah, it's definitely been a focus area of focus for us. You know, a point of emphasis that Tibbs has definitely installed in our team, and it's about movement and, you know, creating good threes. You know, some teams might take 40, 50 threes, but, you know, a lot of them might be bad threes, you know, contested, no ball movement. You know, for us, it's all about pace and spacing and making the right plays, rim reads, and, you know, creating good threes. And I feel like that's what we're doing.
I mean, across the river in Brooklyn, there's a lot of controversy going on with the vaccination stuff.
Mm.
How happy are you that that was settled here and you don't have to deal with what the Nets are dealing with Kyrie and Reed?
Yeah, I mean, our team is, you know, everybody was great about getting vaccinated. So it's great that, you know, we have our full team, we're at full strength, and, you know, we can practice and play together, and, you know, bearing any injury, we don't have to worry about it. So, yes, it's good, but, you know, their situation is personal. You know, what they have going on over there is personal and for them, and, you know, I just wish them the best regardless.
Does it make you nervous at all? Because you have young kids to like play against people who aren't vaccinated and stuff.
I mean, this is what 98% of the league is vaccinated, so you know, not really nervous. You know, the biggest thing, you know, we can do. I'm not a type of person that really can live in fear. I just try to be responsible for my actions first, and then just being aware, mindful of others as well around me. So, you know, that's all I can worry about and do. I'm taking the necessary precautions to do the best I feel like I can to protect my family, and I'll do the same thing every day. And, you know, at the end of the day, just leave it up to God. So, yeah.
Julius, you'll run pick and rolls with RJ as the screener sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just curious how, when you're running a pick and roll with a guard, how that changes the dynamic of a pick and roll.
Talking about when I'm handling the ball?
Yeah, for you as a big guy.
I mean, it's just tough. Anytime, most times, you know, bigs, when we're talking pick and roll defense, we're, you know, our guy is screening, and we're, learning how to guard the pick and roll that way. So a lot of bigs in the league, league is obviously becoming more versatile, a lot of switching and all that type of stuff, but a lot of bigs in the league don't know how to, you know, guard pick and roll when you're handling. I mean, when your man is handling the ball. So creates a lot of confusion, just a lot of opportunities where, you know, I feel like I can create shots for my teammates or get in the paint and make things happen. So, I just try to take advantage of it, whether it's, switches or just confusion or whatever.
So you're definitely planning, are you planning to play the next game? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But not everyone's going to, your whole family will be there. The baby still.
Jace will not be there. He will not. Yeah. I don't know, I can't speak for the others, but Jace won't be there. That'd be a quick turnaround, bro. God damn. I don't think he's ready for that yet.
Have you noticed, congratulations.
Thank
Have
you.
you noticed the OB's development, how he's, in this camp, how he's playing more confident, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, that's just the biggest thing. He works extremely hard. And it's just the mental aspect of it, the confidence. And he's getting more and more confident every game and playing to his strengths, which is a big thing for young guys when they come in the league early, is to know what you're good at, what your strengths are, and play to those, and then just keep developing. And that's what he's doing. He's developing. He's becoming more confident every day. And, I'm proud of what he's doing for sure.
Thanks for listening.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Julius Randle. Very good interview, very candid. Who talked about the birth of his child, and very happy that he was able to be with his family both times. That's always a positive, always good. I do like the answer that he gave in regards to the Knicks being vaccinated and what's going on with Kyrie Irving. Very, very professional answer. I think, as far as that whole thing with Kyrie Irving, look, I'm going to leave it to the Brooklyn Nets. But Kyrie Irving, in my opinion, he has his own choice. I'll leave it at that. I believe he should be able to choose to do whatever he wants to do. I'll leave it there. For the Knicks, we don't have to worry about it. But I want to send one last time a congratulations to Derrick Rose and a congratulations to Julius Randle. Big things happening, man, with their families and with the New York Knicks. Now, let's get to the New York Knicks. The one thing I want to say to everyone is, don't expect Tom Thibodeau to change the minutes that he is distributing to the players anytime soon. And he kind of breaks it down and explains why, not really directly. I guess I don't, he wasn't directly asked this question, but he did allude to preseason and the shortening of games. And this being the reason why guys are playing, so that he can get the rotation right. He can understand how the team reacts and what he wants to do in certain situations throughout the game. He was asked about Nerlens Noel, and if he comes back, assuming that he starts and Taj Gibson comes off the bench, what happens to Jericho Sims? Does Jericho Sims continue to play and get minutes? And through that answer, Tom Thibodeau kind of explains to everybody why he's giving guys so many minutes. I want you to listen in.
How it unfolds, and the idea you're trying to find that balance of you getting your rotation set for the regular season, and that part of with the change in preseason games going from 8 to 4, there's a shorter amount of time. So the main thing is to make sure when the ball goes up on the 20th, you're ready for that day. And so in the way it's unfolded with injuries or guys missing for personal reasons, it's good because it gives you an opportunity to take a look at different guys and getting the opportunity to look at Jericho, getting the opportunity to look at Kevin. Those are all pluses. Over the course of the season that you need everybody, so you want to see where they're at. You want to make sure that they understand their role and how they fit in. And then a lot of things happen over the course of the season. And I think you have to have a strategy for everything. So if you have injury, how do you approach that? If you have foul trouble, how do you approach that? If you're playing from a deficit, how do you approach that? If you're playing with the lead, how do you approach? So you want to take advantage of what everyone's strengths are. You cover up their weaknesses, and you want the team to understand that.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, let me pause that. that right there is the reason why Tom Thibodeau is playing guys so many minutes. Don't expect it to change. 4 preseason games. 4 preseason games. So he wants to sprint to the starting line instead of, jogging to the starting line and then taking a couple of seconds to warm up before you start to hit your sprint. He wants to sprint to the starting line and then come out like gangbangers at the starting line, which is the first game of the season. So there you have it. I wouldn't expect any different tonight. I think guys are going to play rotation minutes. That's what it is. So for all the people out there complaining that Tom Thibodeau, is running the guys into the ground and all that kind of stuff, I think you got your answer right there. And for people calling in, I'm going to get to phone calls very, very soon, shortly. All right, I'll get to some phone calls. Before we do that, I want to go over a couple of things. Let's take a look at the injury report. All right, for the New York Knicks, I think you already know what the injury report is. Nothing new. It's been like this for the entire preseason. Nerlens Noel, he's day-to-day. Okay, he was asked yesterday if he was going to play today. He basically said he's going to see how it goes. Tom Thibodeau was asked the same thing. He said the same thing. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how he feels game time. So he's day-to-day. I'm hoping that he gets out there because I do want him to get a little bit of burn before the season starts. I don't want him to come out, the first game versus the Boston Celtics and that be his first time touching the floor, first time sweating on the garden floor. No, I want him to get out there, play some games, even if you could just play these last 2 games. Get used to the contact. Get used to being bumped. It's not the same when you're in practice and you're bumping around your teammates. So I hope he can get out there. If not, then I guess they got to do what they got to do. For the Pistons, ladies and gentlemen, it's a different story. And I got the wrong one up. Let me change this up for you. Let me get the Pistons up there. I got the Washington Wizards up there because, well, the Washington Wizards, we played them last. But I will tell you this about the Pistons. Cade Cunningham is not playing. I know a lot of people expected and wanted to see Cade Cunningham play. He's not playing. And I believe Killian Hayes is going to be out. All right. Now, let me go ahead and get this back here. Get the Pistons up on the board. Here we go. All right. Let's take a look at this here, ladies and gentlemen, because they have a long list of injuries. All right. Amadou Diallo. He's day-to-day. Not sure if he's going to be in or out. Killian Hayes. Looks like he's out. Of course, you see Cade Cunningham all the way down at the bottom of the list. All right, and I think those are, some of the guys that you're really worried about, or not worried about, but guys that we wanted to see out there playing. Not going to be out there tonight. All right, how much strategy do we, take into this game? Not much. Right, we're not taking much strategy into the game besides, guys that we want to see play when they get out there on the court. Sadiq Bey is day-to-day. Rodney McGruder is day-to-day. Cassius Stanley is out. Derek Walton Jr. is out. Jared Cunningham is out. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I read it down to you one more time. Amadou Diallo is day-to-day. Killian Hayes is out for tonight. Sadiq Bey, day-to-day. Rodney McGruder, day-to-day. Cassius Stanley is out. Derek Walton is out. Jared Cunningham is out. And Jared Cunningham is out. And Cade Cunningham, he's out. So, what are we going to do? We're not going to get to see those rookies play, or that rookie play, Cade Cunningham. So, looking at the lineups in response to the injury report, for the New York Knicks, Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, and either Taj Gibson or Nerlens Noel. All right, if Nerlens Noel is healthy, I think he'll probably jump right into that starting lineup because Tom Thibodeau's going to want to see how that lineup looks. Put Taj Gibson back on the bench. I would hope that Jericho Sims still gets a little bit of burn. Right? Because Nerlens Noel, he might get out there and not feel as comfortable, not feel as strong. Now, Nerlens Noel said in his interview that it's a little bit more his hamstring. Hamstring injuries can take a while. I know. I've had several of them. They can take a while. So we'll see what goes on with Taj Gibson and Nerlens Noel. If Nerlens Noel is playing, I'm sure he'll start. I think he'll start, but we'll see. As for the Pistons, Corey Joseph or Amadou Diallo, depending on how they want to, what they want to do in that lineup, what they want to see, would probably be at your starting point guard spot. Then you got Frank Jackson, who's been the starting shooting guard, Sadiq Bey at small forward, Jeremiah Grant at power forward, and rookie Isaiah Stewart at center. I don't know if he's a rookie. Isaiah Stewart at center. He's not a rookie. Sorry about that. All right, so that's what their lineup would look like, ladies and gentlemen. Normally, I guess, Cade Cunningham, if he wasn't dealing with an injury, he'd probably be starting at that point guard spot or one of those wing spots, point guard or shooting guard spot. And I would expect that at some point he's going to be the starter, probably at the shooting guard spot. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. With Killian Hayes there at the point guard spot, I guess Cade would be at the 3 spot, I guess. He'd be at one of those wing positions. We'll see how they decide to work that out. I don't know. It's a good question. We won't see it or find out tonight. But those are the projected starting lineups right now, ladies and gentlemen. The phone lines are open. If you got a phone call, give me a call, 516-405-2246. I'll be on for another 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes. I know this was a quick one, a sprint to the end. No, it was. I get it. But that's the reason why I went on early. I got some other things I got to handle. But I always got to make sure I get this pregame out. No matter what. So what am I watching for tonight? And I want you to give me a call. I want to know what you're watching for. Continued ball movement. The Knicks have been moving the ball really well. All right, averaging, above 25 assists, I believe. I think they had about 24, 25 in the first game, and I think they had 26 in the second game. So they're averaging a good number of assists. And it's from their ball movement. They're playing off the pass like Tom Thibodeau says. You see one person pass the ball, and it initiates movement on another side of the floor or in another spot. I want to see the continued ball movement. Sustained three-point shooting. And really, I have a question about that. Can they sustain shooting the ball from 3 at a high number of attempts with a good, efficient percentage? Last game, they shot 52 threes. They made 24. I don't know, what's that, 46, 47%? Can they continue to shoot that well from the three-point line? Obviously, every night, they're not going to shoot 46%. We know that. But can they shoot 50 or more threes in a game? And I think Tom Thibodeau was open to allowing it to happen as long as they're the right threes. They're not rushed. They're not forced. They're not just some crazy shot. They're not just running up, throwing up, whatever. I think Tom Thibodeau was willing to let it happen, but can they continue to do it at an efficient clip? I'm watching for that tonight. Back to taking care of the ball. Obviously, different games are going to come with different circumstances, and you got different defenders in front of you. But in the first game, the Knicks had 3 turnovers, ladies and gentlemen. 3 for the entire game. Obviously, you don't expect that to continue. They're not going to average 5 turnovers on the season. They're not going to average 7 turnovers on the season. They'll probably be somewhere around 12 or 13 turnovers a game, which is good for an NBA team. 3 is exceptional. So I did not expect them to have 3 turnovers or 4 or 5 turnovers versus the Washington Wizards. I didn't want to see them have 18. So I want to see them come back out, take care of the basketball, especially in the beginning of the game. Right? Don't give another team the chance to jump on you or do whatever. I don't expect the Detroit Pistons to do that, because I don't think they have as much talent as we do. Even if they're fully healthy, I don't think they have enough talent on their team to do that against us. But I want to see the Knicks take care of the basketball. We have enough basketball IQ. We have good ball handlers. I want to see him take care of the ball. Now, we all want the Knicks to play at a faster pace. We want them to move the ball up the floor, right? We want to see them play in transition a little bit. Those things come with a higher number of turnovers. You play faster, you're probably going to turn the basketball over a little bit more. So I do expect that to happen sometimes, especially with the second unit, because you have younger players. Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, Nerlens Noel can't catch, assuming that eventually we get Mitch back in the lineup and he's the starter and Nerlens Noel is coming off the bench. Nerlens Noel can't catch. So, once or twice a game, you're going to throw him a oop or passing the ball. He's going to fumble it out of bounds. That's going to happen. Emmanuel Quickly is going to make some mistakes. Obi's going to make some mistakes. Derrick Rose can be a guy that turns the ball over too. We've seen that in previous games. Right, so I expect more turnovers from the second unit than in the first unit. I expect the second unit to be a little bit more of a lightning rod, though. But we got to get back to taking care of the basketball. I don't want to see 18 turnovers a game, or I don't want to see 18 turnovers in this game. And I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau is preaching the same exact thing to the team. Continued success on defense, ladies and gentlemen. That's one of the areas where we've all been concerned. We've all been concerned. Will the Knicks continue to have defensive success with the additions of Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier? Kemba Walker, is he going to be a liability for us defensively? I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see. Right? But it's clear that, sometimes he's going to struggle defensively. It's clear. But how does our defense, can we play enough team defense to make up for Kemba Walker or Evan Fournier? I think Evan Fournier is going to be capable, though. Right? So I'm not as concerned. Kemba Walker, with some of the guards that we have in the league, could be tough for him. Could be tough for him. So I'm hoping that the Knicks can play enough team defense. This does stress the importance of having Mitchell Robinson and Nerlens Noel out there. It does. Because they are erasers. Nerlens Noel spoke yesterday about, last year, plenty of times last year, he was able to erase mistakes that the defense made. And he wasn't placing blame on anybody. It's just if you're playing aggressive defense, you're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. Right? If you have guys like Nerlens Noel and Mitchell Robinson back there who are good shot blockers or can change shots, then guess what's going to happen? Your guards can play more aggressive defensively, which means they can, they can jam up. They can jam up cutters. They can try to prevent passes into the post area. They can just put pressure on the guards, which makes it difficult for them to get into their offensive sets. And you can do that when you got erasers back there like Mitch and Noel, because every once in a while, when you're playing that aggressive style of defense, you're going to get beat. So we'll see how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. So far, the New York Knicks gave up 104 points versus the Pacers. I know it's preseason. I get it. They gave up 99 points to the Washington Wizards. Okay? That's not bad. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Right? So right now, they're giving up what? I don't know, 102, 103 points? 102 points a game? Something like that, 102.5 or something, or 101.5 or something like that. Points per game. In the preseason. In the preseason, that is. So we'll see if they can continue to have success on the defensive side. I'd like to see them get out of the preseason only giving up 104 points per game or something like that. That'd be nice, because that's what they gave up last year. With top 5 defense, they gave up 104 points per game. I'd like to see them do the same thing, getting out of the preseason. Obviously, the regular season is going to be something different. That's what I want to see. Team rebounding. I want them to continue to crash the boards as a team. Julius Randle is back tonight, so he's going to give you his 10 boards. He's going to give you those. But normally in that starting lineup, you got Julius Randle, Taj Gibson. If if Nerlens Noel is starting at center, he's only giving you 5 or 6. So we need to continue to have this team rebounding mentality. And if Tom Thibodeau wants Taj Gibson, Nerlens Noel, and even Mitchell Robinson to shoot that corner 3, that means it's possible that you're taking an offensive rebounder outside of the paint. So R.J. Barrett, Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, obviously Julius Randle. We need these guys to hit the boards. We know that R.J. can rebound. I want to see more from Evan Fournier. I want to see him rebound more. In the second unit, if you have Taj or Nerlens Noel, sometimes shooting that corner 3, we need more offensive rebounding. Obi, it's on you, my brother. You got to get in there. We need Derrick Rose. We need Alec Burks. We need Quickly to get in there on those offensive rebounds. One of the reasons why Tom Thibodeau said he does like the runner, although I want Emmanuel Quickly to grab a pull-up, get a pull-up game in, but one of the reasons why he likes the runner is that when you're kind of leaning forward and you float the ball up, your energy takes you forward. So it kind of puts you in a position to get an offensive rebound. So we need Quickly hitting the boards too. When Kevin Knox, if you get in the game or when you're in the game, you get your little 5 minutes or whatever, if you get them, we need you to hit the boards too. Whoever's in the game, we got a team rebound, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm watching for tonight. Right. The lines are open, folks. Give me a call, 516-405-2246. I got about 5 minutes left before I get up out of here. I appreciate you all for jumping on with me, even if it's only for 30 minutes. I definitely appreciate it. And I'll be back on tonight after the game about 10:15 to do a post-game show. Talk about everything that's happened with the New York Knicks and be on the lookout. After the last preseason game, I'll have a top 10 plays from the preseason. I have a video out with the top 10 plays. So I want you in your comment section, and I'll put out a poll in my comment section to ask you, what are your top plays from preseason? So we can start accumulating those top 10 plays and we can put it in a nice little highlight reel. I have some ideas of what I've seen so far. I like a couple of things that Obi did. I like Taj Gibson's, when R.J. Barrett passed it to Taj and Taj spun and was at the rim by himself. I like that. A couple of dunks from Jericho Sims. Some things I like out there. Let me get to a phone call, ladies and gentlemen. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you're from.
What's going on, Sim? It's Nick in Jersey City.
Nick, what's going on with you, brother? How you feeling?
Doing good. I'm looking forward to the game tonight. Looking forward to the regular season next week. I have high expectations for this team.
Yeah. What kind of things do you want to see from the game tonight?
Well, I'd like to see the starters, however long they're out there together, continue to do what they've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think you remember that Fournier alley-oop to Obi last game?
Yep.
I feel like that's the kind of play that, Bullock, who I liked, he could not have done that. Bullock could not go off the dribble, and, Peyton was not a shooter. And now we got a guy out there in Kemba and Fournier who could do both of those things. They could shoot and they could attack the hoop. And I think that's just going to open up the offense completely this season. I think we're actually understating how big of a change that's going to be for the starting five. And then you combine the fact that, RJ is going to take that next step, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Mitchell Robinson's pick and roll defense. I think those four things right there are gonna take the Knicks to the next level, and I think we're gonna have a 50-win team.
Okay. All right. Hey, I mean, listen, man. I think we definitely have the ingredients for a 50-win team. The question is always going to go back to the defense, I think. That's why that's one of the things I'm really, really paying attention to in this preseason. It's going to go back to the defense and whether or not we can sustain defensively. But we have the ingredients to be a 50-win team. I don't know where that puts us in the Eastern Conference this year, but we definitely have the ingredients. And then we'll see, more than that, does what we added this season lead to more playoff success? I think that's the even a bigger question than whether or not we get 50 wins.
Right. It's going to have to translate into the playoffs. But again, I think the weaknesses of the Knicks team against the Hawks in the playoff series, if you put Robinson in that series,
mm-hmm. I
I think it's a different series. And then obviously, Kemba and Fournier as a replace for Elf and Bullock. I just think, I think they've addressed what it was that made them lose that series. So,
right.
We'll see when they play the Hawks, but I think they got enough talent to really make a dent in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I think what you just said is exactly correct, and obviously, we make an upgrade at the center spot because Mitch comes back as long as he's healthy enough to play, and he plays. And then, at those two spots, just what they bring to us offensively. On the Queen's Court on Monday, Steph and everybody were talking about Kemba Walker, and I think he only had 8 points or something like that against the Wizards. But it's not his point production that we know he can score the ball, right? I don't care if he has 8 points in the game or 10 or maybe he has 20. It really doesn't matter to me. It's what he brings to the game that really does change what we do offensively. Because even with him only scoring 8 points, we had 117 points. And we didn't have Julius Randle there, right? It's what they bring. It's the threat that they bring to the game.
Capability.
The capability. That changes everything. It changes everything. And that's what, from the point guard spot, Elfrid Payton couldn't offer, right? He can get to the lane. He could get to the cup, but he couldn't convert. And he had no mid-range pull-up. So those things right there were just, it really did clamp in the offense. And the Knicks did the best that they could. With Reggie Bullock, he had the only thing he could do was shoot the three and maybe step in and pull it up. He couldn't do anything else. So Evan Fournier, Kemba Walker, what they add offensively really does open his offense up so wide. And then having the bench come in, Mobb Deep come in, and you already know what they can do as far as scoring the basketball. It's going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of teams. And I wonder if our offense is going to become sort of like a defense for us. That teams
What do you mean by that?
Like teams struggle to keep up scoring with us. And because they are trying to keep up with us, they end up shooting a bad percentage. Because that's what happened a lot of times with the Phoenix Suns back in the day. They scored so efficiently and scored so many points The other teams tried to score with them because they almost had no choice but to try and score with them, and they just weren't efficient enough to score with them. And so then their shooting percentages, they try to, they got the Suns built a 15, 16-point lead, and now other teams are shooting more threes. And back then, you just weren't as efficient from the three, right? So now you're not shooting good enough. You're a little bit winded because the game is going so fast. The pace is so much faster. Obviously, today, you play a faster game of basketball, but I wonder if the Knicks could be something like that. It would be great.
If they could average, 114, 115 points a game and get into that top 12 offense, combined with their defensive intensity, even if they fall off a little bit on defense, I mean, they're going to be a really good team. And you look at the beginning of their schedule, they have an opportunity to get out ahead early. I mean, I remember last season, it took us a while to get 2-3 games above 500. It wasn't until that 9-game win streak that they finally got some cushion.
Right.
But here, I feel like the Knicks could start strong.
Yeah.
The first couple of weeks of the season.
It'd really be nice to get started early, get a cushion early and be able to play without that pressure on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Be great. Hey, Nick, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate your time.
Take care.
Take care, man. Big shout out to I see Legion and Knicks in the chat. Big shout out to you, my brother, my man Stephen Fox in the building. I got to get Stephen Fox up here on the show. We got to get you on the panel. Come talk with some Knicks, man, because you're doing a wonderful job with the content that you're putting out, man. Big shout out to you. Let me get you another phone call here. Caller, you live. Tell me your name and where you from.
Hey, what's up? My name is Roberto, pretty much Rob from the Bronx.
What's going on with you, man? How you feeling?
What's going on? Doing well, man. I'm just watching your YouTube video, man, and I just wanted to let you know, man, that you're doing a really good job, and I appreciate your show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I watch it every day, every night.
Appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, for real. Definitely appreciate you. What are you looking forward to seeing from tonight with the Knicks versus Pistons?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking for the Knicks to continue to do what they're doing. What I don't want to see, even though that's not what you're asking, but what I don't want to see is, Derrick Rose keep playing while he's hurt or a little, trying to get hurt. I really want to see Tibbs control that a little bit better, if that's possible. And, I know it's not going to happen tonight, but, if we can somehow have Noel or, Mitchell Robinson sometime before the season starts to play, it really helps the Knicks structure exactly what they're trying to build. Mm-hmm. I think that's going to give each and every player in the starting five place within the court where they can actually know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Because to have Taj Gibson there at the 5 is a good thing, but then again, it's not really a good thing because, Taj ain't going to play that many minutes. But
right.
That's really what I want to see.
Right. I would love to see. I'm hoping that Nerlens Noel can go tonight. I know Mitch isn't, but I'm hoping Nerlens Noel can go so he can start to get in there. And like you said, we can get start to really get a hold of what the rotation is going to look like, because we don't know. In the first 2 games, right, we've actually seen the Knicks go to Taj Gibson to score some points in the paint, posting up. Right, I was at the Wizards game, and I seen Tom Thibodeau yell at and say, "Get him the ball." Right, yeah. and he posted up and scored. We're not going to see that with Nerlens Noel, so it changes.
Yeah,
it changes. So I definitely want to see what it looks like before we go into, regular season play. So yeah. But hey, my man.
Yeah, so it helps us defensively, but anyway, thank you, man. I appreciate you taking my call, man, and I'll continue watching your show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the support.
All right.
Peace. Get one last phone call, ladies and gentlemen, then I got to get up out of here. But like I said, I will be on about 10:15, and we'll have a panel. Be on about 10:15 for the post-game show. Caller, you live. Actually, I already know who this is. Cornerstone, what's poppin' with you, man?
How could you know this was me, man?
I already know. Hey, I got one of those senses. I get it. I already know. You know what I'm saying? I seen the lightning bolt coming off your costume.
Who, me?
Yeah, I seen a lightning bolt
What's
coming off
going
your
on,
costume, man. And if you know, ladies and gentlemen, you know. I don't even got to say what it's all about. If you know, you know. What's going on, man? What's poppin' with you?
Hey, man, everything's good, man. Everything's good. Yeah, just got back from Orlando, so of course I didn't get a chance to see the second preseason game. But from what I've been told and from what I saw from the first game, we have a really good chance to have starting off the season having a solid record. I mean, we might only have like maybe one or maybe two losses, but we're gonna have a solid record starting out, man.
Well,
and we haven't seen that in years.
Well, we start off with the Boston Celtics.
Yeah,
right.
Which I will be there.
Which will be there.
With you and all the rest of the
That's gonna
crew.
be dope. That's gonna be dope. As a matter of fact, anybody listening in who's going to the game with us, you should have received an email today letting you know that we're gonna have a meeting tomorrow at 12:30. To talk about our itinerary and kind of get those things straight and throw some ideas back and forth and some things we want to do. We'll be at Legends in New York City. Well, obviously New York City. Legends NYC. That's the name of the spot. We'll be doing our pregame show there, beginning at 3:30, and it's going to be a live podcast similar to what we did in Atlantic City. And yes, it's going to be live streamed as long as their internet is good. It's going to be live streamed. All right, so make sure you check for that. But it's going to be dope. And I'll say this: I am going to speak with them later on this week, and if they will allow it, and we can get more than I think we got 40, 50 people going with us, and we can get a few more than those who are members. I'll open it up so that you guys can come attend too. Even if you're not going to the game. So just be on the lookout for that. Anyway, the Knicks play the Boston Celtics on October the 20th for the home opener. Then they play Orlando Magic in Orlando. Then they come home and they play Orlando again. So it's a, home and away versus Orlando. Then they play Philadelphia. Then they play Chicago, New Orleans, Toronto, Indiana, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Philadelphia again. So, I mean, we're going to have some chances, but there's some challenging teams in there too.
Yeah, they are. It's just that the way I'm seeing this team play, and it starts off with the starting five, it's like night and day going from Reggie Bullock and Elfrid Payton to Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. You got two guys that can create their own shot, and it helps space out the whole team between Randall and RJ. And I'm going to say whoever you throw out there at center, whether it's going to be Lawrence or even this new guy, Jericho Sims. So whoever you throw out there, Taj. Whoever you throw out there, the spacing is just incredible. I remember Mark talking about how he loves it. I'm loving it too. And it's something that, like I said, we haven't seen in a lot of years. We haven't seen the type of spacing that we're seeing right now. And I think it's just going to get better, man. I really do. And you talk about Mobb Deep. Good Lord.
Mobb Deep.
I think our bench is probably going to be like the top. We're going to be in the top 5 as far as benches, probably top 3. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be real fun to watch. And I'm going to need a DJ. Yeah. I'm going to need a DJ, every time the bench gets on the floor to play Shook Ones from Mobb Deep. Every time the bench steps on the floor, start playing Shook Ones.
Shook One.
That's what I need. That's what I need, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, but that's all I got, man. I will talk with you probably later on tonight. I know I'll talk to you, sometime over the weekend, and then ready for Wednesday, bro. All right?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Okay, bro.
I appreciate you, man.
See you time.
All right, peace. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your time. I'm heading out of here. Again, I want you to look for, in my comment section, a post, about your plays, your top plays from the preseason so we can put together. You can give me your top offensive plays and your top defensive plays. We can do 2 of them. It's all good with me. But anyway, I want to know your top plays from the preseason. I appreciate your time. Be peaceful. And I'll catch you later on tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm out of here. Spread love.
This is NBK, nothing but Knicks. When Sim passed the assist, you know that it's #1 show that breaks down the game. If you can't play defense, stay out my way. Dribble the ball, come down the lane. 5 seconds on the shot clock, who gon' win us the game? You wanna hear Nick updates and trade rumors? Post-game reviews, this the place to tune in. So tell a friend just to keep the ball moving. Like the page if you feeling the movement. Every game we coming to win. Give us a sub like a player that came off the bench. This is NBK, nothing but Knicks.